Okay, here we go. First of all, you're probably here because you either have an interest in comics or Spider-Man, right? So there's an extremely high chance that you've had some exposure to the man's backstory.
I haven't.
That's because you're a dodgy piece of art, only a few weeks old. But hey, let's cover it quickly. Hey, welcome to Comic Lore and History. If this piques your interest, consider reading the whole issues by signing up to Marvel Unlimited at marvel.com/unlimited. First of all, Spidey's first appearance was in Amazing Fantasy issue number 15, a short-run comic book series with random stories and ideas thrown in. Anyways, Stan Lee had the idea to do a story about a teen with superhero powers of a spider and was told that teens are sidekicks and no one wants to read a book about spider powers because hey, spiders are icky.
Wow. It's like the guy who didn't sign the Beatles because guitar music was phasing out.
I know, right? But Stan the man did it anyway, and here we are. Let's start with Peter Parker, dumb jock, MVP football player, picks on nerds.
That's Flash Thompson.
Oh, right. Let's start with Peter Parker, the guy who gets picked on by guys like Flash. Pete's a nerd, but not in a cool way. He goes on a class field trip, gets bitten by a radioactive spider because that's what everyone was afraid of in the 60s. Radiation, not spider bites. Uses his power to make money as a wrestler, gets a bit showboaty with it, believes stopping a thief isn't his problem. Then a few days later, not straight away as in some other iterations, that same thief shoots his Uncle Ben, the comic book character with the world record for actually staying dead the longest. Blah blah blah, tears, blah blah blah, thief down, blah blah blah. With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, that's a great message.
And I'm sure it's the last we'll hear of it. So that's it in a nutshell. It's been done to death almost as much as Uncle Ben has, and there are probably more in-depth videos on his history if you're curious. Also, this happened like in 15 pages and then you get a story about a guy ringing a bell and your mum being fat. Right, and there's this Aunt May Bird who was a decrepit old hag even back then. I hate her, I really hate her, she is the worst.
She seems sweet.
She is, without a doubt, the worst plot crutch in the history of, you know what, out of respect for Pete, I'm not gonna go there. What I will mention is that there's a reason Spidey gained so much popularity and managed to maintain that popularity over the years. Sure, swinging on webs is cool. I mean, like, yeah, really cool. But what it really created was the trope. Teen to superhero, complete with both teen and superhero problem. That shit's in the media everywhere nowadays, and few have done it better than Peter Parker. I mean, Spider-Man. Forget I said anything. Those two guys are totally unrelated. Also, if you want to learn how to draw Spider-Man, why don't you answer this ad? And holy crap, how come we don't have these now?
You're getting distracted.
Your mum's getting distracted.
2 mum jokes in one video? Really? And besides, you created me, so you're technically the closest thing to a mother I have.
Then I was right, wasn't I? Okay, let's move on.
Please.
Okay, the first issue of Amazing Spider-Man and Spidey's second appearance, back when comic books could fit 2 stories in the same amount of pages that they have today. We start with a recap. Blah blah blah, Pete's still a geek by day, he has money issues, my Uncle Ben died, and this J. Jonah Jameson is writing a nasty article about him because... just because. Plot. What else?
Because what?
Also, in a town full of superheroes, Jameson narrows in on Spider-Man because his astronaut son isn't getting enough attention. Pete gets angry after seeing May sell her jewelry and decides to get out and make some money. So if you didn't catch it, Pete's a geek, so the next day he's watching John Jameson's first flight. But oh no, something goes wrong and Spider-Man hears about it, so he hitches a ride on a plane. Then Webb's I don't know what this is. A shuttle? How is this meant to be aerodynamic? Blech. Anyway, despite forcing the parachute and saving John's life, Jameson still writes ill of our boy Spidey the next day. So for the second story, Spider-Man tries to break into the Fantastic Four headquarters to see if he can join on. Because you know, well, no one likes the dirty muties down the road and the Avengers are snobs.
That's racist.
Against the Avengers?
No, the X-Men.
Dirty muties. God forbid anyone do a similar playlist on them X-Men freaks. Anyways, back to it. Obviously breaking into the most fortified building in New York doesn't bode well for our young hero, and he comes up against the Fantastic Four. Each get the chance to take him on one-on-one as per comic book guidelines, but he dodges and rolls and outmaneuvers the 4 of them, including the Invisible Woman's lassoing ability. Sheesh.
Is that a power of hers?
No, God no. But they're not hiring, so he jumps out the window and that's the end of that. cut now to a man playing dress up who announces himself as the Chameleon. Basically, he's like a plain doll that can put on different faces, but also had the magical ability that villains had back then to determine a signal that only Spider-Man can detect. Seriously, this was such a common thing back then. Anyway, he sends out a signal asking Spider-Man to meet him on the roof of some building. The Chameleon then uses a disguise to break into the building. Like a chameleon. He then dresses as Spider-Man to steal missile defense plans because we are totally Cold Warring at the moment. He takes off on a helicopter as a real Spider-Man turns up, and oh boy, is this really going to do old Spidey's reputation good. Anyway, as the police arrive, he slingshots himself after the helicopter.
Okay, that was pretty cool.
I know, right? He captures the chameleon who lets off fart gas and changes into a police uniform, but the real Spider-Man tussles with him and rips the uniform off, revealing the fake Spidey uniform underneath. His reputation is saved, but he runs away sobbing even if it is just a thought bubble. So a lot happens in this issue, and it really shows what an uncompressed style can give you. It also shows what Lee and Kirby were planning, and it makes me wonder whether they had a hard and fast track of what they wanted from the hero or played it by ear, issue by issue. Hey, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this approach, please like and subscribe for more videos. And remember, if you're interested in reading the full story, the easiest way is to sign up to Marvel Unlimited at marvel.com/unlimited. I need to breathe.